Tell us about the 2025 Pacific Playwrights Festival, the playwrights, the readings, and full productions.
As I mentioned, we have seven new plays as a part of the Pacific Playwrights Festival this year. Two of those plays are world premiere productions, which I'll talk about first. The very first world premiere production that we are opening here at South Coast Rep is on the Segerstrom stage. It is a play called "You Are Cordially Invited to the End of the World" by Keiko Green. This play was developed in the 2024 festival, so just last year we had it as a staged reading in the festival. And it's a really exciting, funny, moving, kaleidoscopic play that looks at the idea of living and dying and existing, and continuing to survive through it all. It's very much a family story. It centers on a father and a family being diagnosed with a terminal illness and how the world sort of opens up when that happens. He sees a connection between the environmental degradation around him, the world in a respect is dying while he is also dying. He sees that link and it sort of changes everything. It changes how he sees everything. So it's a really sort of beautiful, thoughtful piece in that respect. But it's also wildly funny. It is a comedy. Keiko Green is sort of a brilliant comedic writer, so imaginative. So audiences that come see that show are really going to have this like complete and full experience, this really sort of rich, wild, funny ride that then really moves you by the end of the play. The second world premiere production that we actually just started rehearsals for this week is The Staircase by Noah Gardner. That is an SCR commission, and we developed it in our 2023 Pacific Playwrights Festival, so two festivals ago. And we're so excited to finally have it come to fruition on our stages here. Noah's play tells the story of a Hawaiian family or Hawaiian mother and son living together on the island and trying to navigate a tricky and thorny past while also trying to look ahead at the future. It's a really beautiful meditative play that combines Hawaiian myth, Oli or Hawaiian chant, Pahu drumming, Hawaiian drumming in the piece, creates this sort of wonderful tapestry that you're going to see on the stage while telling a really moving and heartfelt story about a challenging relationship between a mother and a son and a family at large. It's really beautiful. This is Noah's first professional production, so we're excited to partner with him on that. And I think that audiences are really going to love the piece. Our five staged readings. The first reading is a play called Rachel, Nevada by Jose Sebastian Alberti. It tells a story that is set in Rachel, Nevada, which is very close to Roswell, and so there is a sort of close encounters feel to the piece, that is telling a story about grief and love and connection. It is a really beautifully sort of like rich language, emotion, and subtext driven piece. And Sebastian's a very exciting writer. Sebastian is also commissioned with South Coast Repertory. This is actually not his SCR commission, but we're excited to share his work with audiences here at SCR. The second reading is a play called The Red Man by Jacoby Johnson, and it is a story of a twin brother and sister, an adult twin brother and sister who are in Florida, who are sort of reeling from some big changes in their lives that are connected to a long-held secret within their family. It is a horror play. It is wildly energetic and funny. And Jacoby is a really beautiful poetic writer. And so I think you're going to have a really dynamic experience if you come see The Red Man. The third play is a play called Eat Me by Talene Monahan. And Talene Monahan's play Eat Me, you can see, you have three opportunities to see it across the weekend, once on Friday night, once on Saturday night, and once on Sunday afternoon. It is a story about consumption. It is a story about how you go through the world and find what gives you pleasure, what gives you sustenance, what moves you forward in both a metaphorical way and sometimes a literal way. Um, it's very, very funny. It's very sharp. It is an extremely exciting experience because you sometimes don't know what you're going to be confronted with next in this piece in terms of where the story is going to go, how these characters are going to evolve and change. And so it packs these wonderful surprises into Lean's writing. Um, on Saturday morning, we have a reading called 10 Grand by Kate Cortese. That is also an SCR commission. And that is a play that is set in a Goodwill in Boston in around 2010. And it is a really wonderfully character-driven piece. It tells the story of both the people that work at the Goodwill and also the sort of customers that come in. And it looks at the huge stakes within what seem like tiny lives and how those things can blossom open once you get to know people. And then the final reading we have is a play called Trip Around the Sun by Jake Brash. That's on Sunday morning. It follows two retirees who live in a community that a sort of Jimmy Buffett themed community for parrot head retirees. Um, and it is an elderly couple who are prepared to leave for a big cruise for Sue's the wife's birthday. But the night before they leave, Phil, the husband, sort of drops a big surprise on her, and so it's about the night before they leave and trying to figure out what to do. It's very funny, it's very lively, it's ultimately a moving piece. Jake is a wonderful writer who has such a sharp and exciting wit, and so we're excited to introduce him to our audiences as well.
There's a little extra thing that you get if you go see all 3 days is the playwrights panel. Why is that such a unique experience, the SCR playwrights panel?
Yeah, the Sunday morning playwrights panel is a sort of an extra bonus feature for festival diehards. It's free, it's open to the public, it's not ticketed, anyone can come. But we usually find that the people that have seen everything across the weekend are the ones that are most excited to attend the panel. And it's wonderful because it's an opportunity to, in a great way, you're meeting these plays with very little context about what the writer was thinking about when they were writing it, what the play is even about. We just have these very short blurbs. And so you're kind of coming into these reading and production experiences with very little context about them. And so the playwrights panel is finally a chance for the writers to speak to the work that they've done and why they wrote the plays that they wrote and what those plays mean to them. And it's also your chance as audiences to have some time to ask questions of the playwrights about what you experienced, what their process is as a writer, and if they haven't shared it already, what their inspiration for the play was.
What do you want the local SoCal theater community and theater creatives to get out of your play festival?
We want Southern California audiences and new play lovers to come to the festival and experience a wide array of stories. That's really important. We want audiences to come into each reading and feel like they're hearing a story, they're experiencing a story in a way that was completely unlike the one they saw before that. We want audiences to laugh. We want audiences to feel things. We want audiences to come and have a collective experience and mingle and talk about the plays and share what excited them, share when they were leaning forward and couldn't get enough about the piece. And we also want to give audiences a sneak peek of plays that might end up on South Coast Repertory stages.
Can you talk about how people can experience a weekend, the different public packages, how they can purchase tickets, either individually or as a package?
Yeah, absolutely. So audiences can come to the festival in a variety of ways. Certainly, if you go online, if you go to scr.org, there's going to be a link at the top under productions that will lead you to the Pacific Playwrights Festival webpage. And there you can buy individual tickets. If you only have a day to spare, you only have a couple hours on one day to spare, come see a reading. You can just come see one reading individually. You can also buy a package to all five readings. And then, in addition to the package of five readings, if you really want to go for the full experience and you haven't seen the two productions yet, you can also buy tickets to the productions. And we're very careful with how we schedule the festival that you can catch everything and not miss anything because while some things play at the same time, there's always an opportunity to see it at a different time if you're catching something. So there are a variety of ways, and if you visit scr.org, you can find all the ways there.
Very important question. Why should or must the SoCal theater community attend the Pacific Playwrights Festival at South Coast Repertory?
I think that the SoCal theater community and the greater SoCal community should come see the Pacific Playwrights Festival at South Coast Repertory because theater is an integral part of the human experience. If you haven't been to the theater, I encourage you to come because you will certainly be changed. And you should come because new plays need audiences. New plays need you to hear that play first so that artists working on the plays can hear what you think of the play while it's in its early stages. And I think people should also come because it's a fun new play party. It's a wildly social, boisterous, energetic event, and you shouldn't miss out on some fun.